Yep. Okay. All right. Get everything set up here. All right, I'll be there in just a second, just getting everything set up here. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom. BK85, yo, thank you, sir. Yeah, I know I haven't been in the mix for a minute. This year's been a wacky year, but obviously still love my TDUB, right? Yep. Oh, I appreciate you enjoying the content. It's a labor of love. Yes, sir. Same boat. TDUB is not made to float. All right, let's get into this thing. It's live, but it'll just be a recording. Yeah, GC Rad 1 here, Yamaha TDUB Club, and today we're gonna talk about gloves. It's a bad habit, right? But I'm sure some of you guys have been like, where the heck you been? What have you been doing? What's going on? And honestly, I don't know. I've been distracted and detained and taken away from and sidetracked and busy working full time and doing all those kind of things. But yeah, anyhow, well, maybe at the end here I'll explain a little bit more about what's happening in that area. But today I want to talk about gloves because I have a secret fascination with gloves. Most of the videos of you guys seen with me, they've probably been in these ultra lightweight, very lightweight mountain bike, and then kind of wintertime gloves, these 100% gloves. These have been my three main pairs of gloves for the most part, with an exception to these mountain hardware. They're actually called ice climbing gloves, and we're going to come back and talk to these. We're going to talk to the gloves. Yes, we're going to talk to the gloves. But I have a lot of pairs. I have some One Industries. These are kind of like a medium weight glove. I have some One Industries, also medium weight. If it's colder out, I would go with these over these. But I have experimented with a lot of gloves. My nephew hooked me up with these gloves and these gloves, and these are some Fox gloves. I don't know the name on them, but they're like this kind of foamy feeling thing. And I was expecting them to be like these 100% brisk gloves, but these are not the same as these. I was expecting these to be a little bit warmer and a little bit more weather, like not rain, not waterproof, but rain resistant, but they were not. The day I rode in these gloves, my hands got cold. Uh, these have always, and you can tell which gloves I wear the most because these gloves are practically like worn out. Like these have seen a lot of miles, along with these guys. These Fox, they're like a mountain bike glove. Um, but yeah, thumbs are worn out of them. They're really lightweight, but I do like having gloves on all the time when I'm riding, because you just never know when you're on the trail and you gotta like reach over and touch the ground, the wall of a little section or whatever, and branches can be hanging out at you. Um, these guys have been really like, these were always the super summer, like heavy duty, like high heat summer. But again, they've worn out. Like they they've met their match. But okay, so I would say all time favorite gloves have been these 100%, and I think I want to call them the Brisk. They're not the waterproof ones. I would actually like to try those next. But I can't remember what model these are. I should have looked it up. But they are, if you look on their website, they got this little perforation here. They've like gotten a lot softer over time. But let me go back to these Mountain Hardware. These are not motorcycle gloves. These are like technical, what they call a technical ice climbing glove. And I've had these gloves way before the TDUB. This is like XR400, KTM 950 Adventure, and the ATK 605. And what's so brilliant about these gloves, and I should have bought 10 pairs of these gloves when they first came out, but I didn't know how good they were going to be when I first bought them. And I've had these gloves. These are like 15-year-old gloves. The thing that's really interesting about most, like if you're ever trying gloves on in a store, you're gonna have to get over, like go find a post or a bar, that's holding the clothes rack, and like you it's all about this grabbing feeling right here. And what's so spectacular about these Mountain Hardware gloves is these gloves were designed for grabbing these, because they're like technical ice climbing gloves, and it's cold, and these gloves have been just by far the most brilliant pair of gloves I've ever had. And back a few years when I was like, oh man, I need to replace these, went back to their website. Of course, they had something different, and I just didn't find what I thought was the same as these. And these have started coming loose. I got a little bit of a hole going right here, and a finger getting ready to blow out over here. These will continue getting used. I may have to take some glue or something, and some shoe glue, and and prop them up. But these gloves have been excellent. But I guess the big part of this whole thing is it really doesn't matter. Oh yeah, I have another pair of these MSR gloves that are kind of like the 100% gloves, that are kind of like the Fox gloves. The Fox gloves are like stiff and airy inside. These ones, I think I don't wear these as much because I think they're a little tight on my hands. And that's always the problem. Like, you want the glove to fit tight so you can get a warm feel. And this one, these will actually be going into use this year. But you can see right there how it pulls when you stretch your hand out. And I guess it doesn't matter, but when you grip, that's going to be where it matters the most. So that's what you just got to pay attention to, is how well you're going to be able to hold on to the handlebars and not get a whole bunch of material bunching up in here. Yeah, that's really, gloves are fun. Gloves are technical items. They can be a nuisance. You lose one, then that's a really bad day. But wintertime is here, especially here in Colorado. But I'll say this: with these gloves and these gloves, I can ride in any condition. Oh yeah, these Fox gloves have been really good. I've been pedaling. Well, this year, okay, that's part of why I have been away from the TDUB pursuits, is I have been pedaling the bicycle to and from work a lot this year. Like, I'm really trying to get myself back in shape. You know, next year is the big 6-0, and I'm just trying to, you know, stay healthy. But these gloves have been decent. These are some old mechanics wear cold weather gloves. I've ridden the old XR in Barstow in the desert with these gloves. These have been pretty good, but they've kind of shrunk a little bit. They are leather, so I need to. I don't know. They feel tight, and one hand's bigger than the other. I put these on now, and I'm like, man, I don't feel so bad. But I've literally been, yeah, right there. When my hands have gotten, well, especially my mouse hand, my right hand. I think I'm developing carpal tunnel syndrome of some sort. But this thumb over here, if I put a glove on and it like holds this thumb really tight, it bothers me. And so that right there, I'll be ready to come out of these gloves in like an hour. But for chopping wood and doing that kind of stuff around the house, these will be great. They've been great gloves. You know, you want to talk about more gloves? I got some of these Tillman. They're like leather gloves. These have been, you know, back when I was in Alabama, this was my cutting the trail, cutting wood, chopping wood. Those were the gloves. Going back to pedaling. That's the fun thing about mountain biking, is it crosses over so much. Like, I've used these for mountain biking. I've used these fox gloves for mountain biking. And, well, okay, so when these fox gloves kind of bit the dust, I went down to my local buy shop, Criterion, which is a well-known bike shop down here. They had these kind of like lightweight, full coverage gloves. It's 2 seasons now. They'll go another season, but they're already starting to get shrapneled up. So I like these gloves. I can actually work the phone with these gloves. They've been really good. Just going through all the gloves. These Castelli gloves, I did a lot of pedaling in these back in California during the winter time. These were awesome. They're like, yeah, Colorado is very interesting with the weather here. I have these Ibot gloves. These are mainly for doing 4-wheel drive recovery. I just grabbed all my gloves. They're like very thick, very heavy duty. Not for moto by any means, but I'm just showing you my collection of gloves. These gloves my wife bought for me back when we were working on the house here. These are those like kind of rubberized gloves. They're mechanics wear. I've known those guys for years. Love their gloves. But man, those practically built this house here. And then this winter, for the bicycle, it may even for the TDUB if the things get just right. I got these Pearl Izumi, like cyclop mitts, man. I don't know what you want to call these things, but these things are going to be the ticket this winter. Like, I could totally ride the TDUB in these. These are, yeah, this is what I'm going to be commuting to work with in the wintertime with these bad boys. But anyhow, let's go back to, yeah. So there's a full range, and gloves are a personal choice. It's not like, oh, well, that's what he's wearing, that's what I'm going to wear. No, I'm saying you go out and experiment and just spend time in the store when you buy the gloves. Just walk around in the store with the gloves on. People are going to look at you funny, but you're just going to try them on, and they just got to fit and be comfortable and do a lot of hand flexing and everything. But here's what I'll say. Winter riding, you can run any glove. You can run any glove when you have these bad boys. Yes, I'm talking about HIPPO hands. These have been like the bomb diggity. Like, you take these bad boys, and here's what's the beauty of these things. You can see how they work. You just like slap them over your levers. Boom. They're on your moto. And if you got hand guards, they work really good because they go over the hand guards. But yeah, these are HIPPO hands, and I started running these. This is the second generation. I started running the first generation these were the literal game changer. These were like, where were these a long time ago when I was riding my other motorcycles? Um, but yeah, these have been just like, you can wear any glove in the wintertime. If it keeps your hand warm, these will cut the wind. And that's what kills most of the gloves is the wind. They can't be thin enough and also keep your hands warm enough when the wind's involved. When it gets to wind, that's when it's gonna get serious. Like I've had these in wind and they cut for a while, but when I have these with these, game changer. Like that equals like 6 of these when you have these and the hippo hands. Like you don't really need these, and these are like bulky. So yeah, I need hippo hands for bicycles. I'm looking into that. There's yeah, there's something else going on there. But anyhow, that's really the real deal with gloves is having the right pair at the right time and having a pair of hippo hands. I mean, if you think about it, if you take all the money out of all these gloves, hey, I could have bought a new pair of hippo hands. But like some of these have been gifts from my nephew and such, and gloves I've been collecting for years. The newest pair of gloves in my collection, I guess, would be like the fox gloves. Again, my nephew gave me those. The summer Pearl Izumi gloves. Yeah, these are my summer gloves. I wore these on the moto and on the bicycle. I mean, they're just summertime gloves, and those have been really good. So if you're into that, like if you're mountain biking, motoing, 100% and foxing these companies, they're kind of like, they live in both of those worlds. So it's okay to run those gloves. Gloves are just gonna wear out. That's just the nature of the beast. Some people don't even like to wear gloves. I like to wear gloves. I just feel that much more confident when I have the gloves on, and it's just so many times you're cutting through rocks, tree branches are hanging out and everything. Like yeah, my hands would be a lot more beat up, and I do work it in the office every day, and so I need my hands kind of like every day. So yeah, all right. With that, that's about all I have for this round. Thank you for checking out the video. I do have a wild card caveat. I have some TDUB Club patches that I will have on me. If you are in Atlanta or around the Atlanta area, and specifically in the Atlanta city area, I will be there November 7th, 8th, 9th. I'll be getting in late on the 7th, but the 8th and the 9th, I will be in Atlanta. No, I will not be on my TDUB, but if you're on your TDUB and you make it to where I'm going to be, then I'll give you one of these patches. Um, yeah, I'm gonna bring some patches. I'll put them in my bag. I'll have them with me at all times. And yeah, uh, the key ingredient on how to find me in Atlanta. Uh, well, I'll just say this. I'm GCRad1 on Instagram. So if you follow my personal page, which is not going to be TDUB related, but I think you'll pick up where I'm going at, but then you'll also, yeah, it doesn't really matter if you want to get a patch, come out and meet me out there. I will be in Atlanta, mural painting for 2 days there. So stop by. I'll have patches on me. I have stickers, but those are going to be very difficult to carry and keep and do all that. So yeah, whichever. If you can't make it to Atlanta, which who's going to be going to Atlanta for whatever, just they're on the website, tdubclub.com. Hit the shop, boom. I got hats. Oh yeah. I like my dad hat. Official TDUB Club merch. If you own a TDUB, you're already in the club. That's what it is. All right, well, winter is coming. I'm hoping I have yet to put a leg over the TDUB this year, and that's been really eating away at me. Uh, yeah, I can't explain in full detail why I haven't been on the bike, but I want to be on the bike. I should have been on the bike. Yeah, just things in life don't always allow you to do what you want to do. So yeah, looking forward to. I should have gone riding today, but physically I'm not able to go today. I've been sick laid up in bed for the last 3 days. Yeah, so I'm coming back alive. This has been like, when you're laying there in the bed and you're sick and you're just thinking about everything you can't do. And I was like, all right, I need to get this video punched out, and that's why I went live, because I don't want to edit. I can't edit. I don't have time to edit. That's just going to take that much more time. So I got to nail this in one whack. And I'm good at doing that. No double takes. Or if it is, it's going to be like, repeat, rewind, go back. Anyhow, all right. Thanks for joining in. Sorry I don't have like a monitor to see like your guys' questions or anything like that. Maybe at some point I will get a little bit more in depth, set up the monitor, have the wifey read me off some of your guys' questions and all that kind of good stuff. But I'm still out here. I'm still trying. If you're coming through Colorado Springs and you want to ride a TDUB, hit me up. We got insane awesome trails out here. It is getting cold though, so the window is closing very, very fast. So yeah, about that. But we can make it get back into it back in the springtime. So all right, over and out. GC Rad 1, Yamaha TDUB Club. Thanks for tuning in, and over and out.